Everything else seems to be moving in the right direction. Am I being premature?
No, I don't think so. I'd completely agree with that analysis. I think there have been signs in the last few months, specifically that both sides of the debate have realised that, we're getting to crunch time, and therefore belligerence is going to have to make way for compromise and pragmatism, and that was always going to be the case because essentially nobody wants no deal.
Yeah, and Mrs. May doesn't have to be a great student of history. She doesn't have to go back to previous fracas with the EU. She only has to go back to her predecessor, Mr. Cameron, who came back with I was going to say a naughty word there, with a rubbish deal as far as the British were concerned, from European partners before, which he could not sell, apparently, even though he was silver-tongued. They could not sell it to the British people, and hence we have the situation we are in now. Unless European partners come and give Mrs. May something she can work with and sell to hardcore Brexiteers, hardcore Remainers and the British public as well, she is scuppered, and we will see a different Prime Minister, and who knows what will happen next. So they need to offer something. Are they aware of this as well?
I think so. Again, I think those signs have been sort of relatively clear in the last few weeks in terms of the negotiations. It's not in the Europeans' interests to be excessively belligerent on any of the issues exactly as you described, because a change of leadership, a change of party rule even in the UK could lead to completely and vastly different outcomes.
Just finally for me, because Jeffrey's going to come back on this one, I was doing the ballet run yesterday. That was my job when I come back from my trip. Yeah, so I was doing that, and one of the mums said to me, "Oh, you've been travelling a lot." I said, yes, I was. I like chatting to the mums.
Were you wearing your tutu? You were?
No,
tutu and tights?
I didn't have I did have my tights on, but not my tutu. Okay. And she was saying to me, "Oh, Brexit," and I was like, "Yeah." Well, I said, "But we'll still be here, regardless of Brexit. We'll still be doing the Tesco run, or the Waitrose run in some people's cases, or whatever it may be, or the Jack's run these days, And the fact is, I can't help thinking that life will go on regardless. So for you, making investment decisions, how many big decisions do you have to make on the basis of Brexit or no Brexit? Or do you just get on with it?
If I genuinely thought that we'd get to a situation where there was absolutely no agreement whatsoever, no framework for our relationship with the EU going forward, then yes, that would definitely change how I would be invested in the UK. But I absolutely do not believe that's the case, because in spite of the protestations of EU leaders, I think they mostly recognise that there is a huge potential economic damage to them. I think what's been interesting for me is that the tone changed roughly around the time that Donald Trump went after the auto sector in Germany specifically. And within minutes, Juncker was on a plane trying to get a handshake deal to sort of calm down that protectionist pressure. And I think hopefully that was a wake-up moment for the UK in recognising that there are weaknesses on both sides, and that's what need to be exploited in terms of sort of forcing a negotiation forward. And so for me, that's the reality, the pragmatism on the ground is that for that reason, nobody wants this to be a no-deal scenario.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.